Hi everybody, David here on August the 15th, 2021, and I'm going to just play on cool things. I think Christians are going to like this, because it just clicked. Alright, if time travel's real, let me explain why. I'll get into that. If time travel's real, wouldn't we go back and make sure that the Alexandrian library was emptied? Wouldn't we go back? We could stop tragedies from actually being tragic. Certain places burned. We would be able to have them evacuated. And then some of his stuff, the stuff that he'd been talking about, would make sense. Long story short. What's cool is time travel is a very quantum subject. And I get that. The only reason I'm so firm that it's real, okay, besides Rendlesham Forest being given by a sworn oath statement, a recording of the two officers that had gone out, Sergeant Peniston and the other guy, can't remember your name. They went out into the woods and they had seen what they had seen. All right, they described it perfectly and did demonstrations on TV perfectly. Now, why do I say perfectly? Because January 28th, 2011, over Temple Mount, Jerusalem, you see the very description of the Holy Spirit, in the Bible, coming down on Temple Mount. Then you see the lights as described in Rendlesham, even depicted by many documentary things. Okay, so I believe in time travel. All right. And wouldn't it make sense that we would actually get the time travel of information first so that we could pass back how to get it? So that we could pass back how to do it. But it would have to be along with I guess learned rules, stuff that we learned that's a good idea to follow to keep it safe. Okay, so then we would probably want to save all these things. Now here's the catch. Some things might have happened in history, like, for instance, the Shroud of Turin, which seems to come back dated wrong. It's like, damn, that could have been real. But it looks so fucking real. So then what if it is? If time travel is real, wouldn't we make it real? Go get it. Go get it. Go put it in Turin, wherever they found it. Oh, that's why. See what I'm saying? If time travel's real, and since we have video footage, and dude, the entire audience goes, "Ooh, they're not lying. That's not bullshit." It's the exact description as Rendlesham Forest, so I get lit up talking about this and knowing what we can do with it. We have history sets it a certain way, so this is what I've come to understand is causality. How do I explain this? All right. I'm trying to prove it with the lottery. Okay, I know that's nuts, but it's not necessarily. All right, so I understand that it might, if it's quantum entangled, it's not how I thought. I thought that when you turn one over, one would turn over exactly the same way, like a mirror. But apparently when you turn one over this way, the other one mirror images it. So reflected. That makes sense. So, hold on a second. So then wouldn't it make sense that we would have something in I don't know, a crystal setup that would be on a repeat message that would have all this data that the past would actually know to grab quantumly, since quantum entanglement is faster than light, and it's obvious because, China has it and you can't hack their satellite. Not that anybody would. Not that anybody would. But the gift is, that's the funny thing. We've always been in defense, and that was what was cool. You chose quantum as defense. Now here's a fun bonus. We're talking about, the first stuff that leaves the world, radio waves would be in Contact, they make it look like it's World War II stuff. So it's like Hitler's the first to announce, here we are. Yeah, no, even better. It's quantum entangled satellite. The first thing they're getting is Chinese, dude. The first thing that the aliens everywhere are getting is Chinese, the quantum ones. If you think about it, it's 100% easy to see that our data sent quantumly, and I say ours in the form global family human, it's definitely, if they have a quantum satellite up there in picking, you know, Nibiru or whatever, you know, I'm just throwing some more science fiction stuff out, but keep in mind that was a story written as a fiction. Zecharia Sitchin didn't write that as, it's a gift that could be wrong. I at least acknowledge that it could be just like L. Ron Hubbard's deal, but the philosophies still are sound apparently with a lot of stuff, so I do hold that to what if. And the cool thing is, shit, if time travels real, you never know where these books come from. Kind of like that one that they have with that weird language on it that they can't read that looks like Middle English somehow. The one about all the plants that are like alien looking. Like, wouldn't we go and grab that from a time from like wherever they found Trinitite? You know, that's like millions of years old, and like maybe grabbed it from then and brought it up so that we could see what the world was like, because they found it and it's on these ancient aliens and unknown, you know, amazing things, unexplained, unexplored, all these shows. So yeah, I'm a keen watcher of all these things. Now, paranormal's a fun journey too, since I'm on the fringe. Paranormal, I see a lot of stuff about a place, Skinwalker Ranch, and I don't know why I haven't been that interested in it, but I hold a lot of interest in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. So I get to wondering, man, I have this whole fun theory, but let me just say, black holes, black holes. We all understand that no matter what, even if we doubted, black holes are real since they're there and we can see it. The galaxy revolves around it. And the entire galaxy revolves around a fucking, you know what I mean? And the cool thing is, there's a field up to the event horizon that's literally going backwards, because when you get to the event horizon, time stops. It slows and slows and slows until you get to the event horizon and it stops. Doesn't it stand to reason when you cross the event horizon, you're going the other way in direction? All right, so, and we all believe, I know it doesn't matter if you doubt, but I know that I firmly believe that when you watch the movie Paycheck, you start to realize, man, there's a lot of stuff about in movies, and it's like all science fiction, but it's like, wait a minute, they're following the rules of science, so it's actually making it work. It's actually looking good. We can see around the curve of space-time. So again, I like what he ended up doing, was he won the lottery at the end of the movie, and it seemed like a good idea. It seemed like a really, really good idea. More will be revealed. I just want you to understand this. Life is so much more awesome than we actually dared to dream. That's why I call it the playpen science. If they're saying we can't, they're not allowed. They've been excluded from the party. No, it's really just you're having, you know, you guys have doubts, you print it on paper, and sometimes those doubts are heavy. You know, saying time travel is impossible is silly when you have video documentary of it. And I mean, and then an actual video that you can Google. Google January 28th, 2011, Temple Mount. Google that and enjoy the show. It literally comes down slow, like somebody that could be, you know, could ascend to heaven the same way, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, maybe Jesus. Like maybe we, if you don't believe in religion, dude, as a scientist, ask yourself, well, what can science do? Let me rephrase it, and I'll come around to answering that. I feel like science got away from religion for a long time, and it's like almost making it feel like religion was stupid to do in the first place. But if we have time travel, wouldn't we show off what we have? Wouldn't we go back and see our ancestors and see how they are, teach them a little bit better ways to live? Maybe. And if God equals love, wouldn't you call the future a loving family? Wouldn't you call the future a loving family? All right. And I mean the rainbow family human, not just LGBT. When I say rainbow, I mean the rainbow of skins. Or at least a million shades of clay, you know. Probably infinite. And then one day we'll actually be able to be sky colors, you know, blue with like polka dots, even cloud colored skin, like Well, I sound like I'm talking about the color of the dead, but what I mean is like the sky, colored like the sky, even with a little, I don't know, it was just an idea. Even with the sun on them, like a weird tattoo that actually shines. All right, so you see how I get when I get a little bit excited talking about this. I just say, man, literally, if there is a quantum system that can read human minds, meaning we find a way to get our signature, quantum signature, our spirit, that was the word that came back that I kept using, quantum signature. And it was said to me in a way that, like a teacher was teaching me from a long way off. Hold on. It is in my belief that science owes faith, religions, a loving, helping hand. In a future where we have world peace, given Murphy's Law, we definitely succeeded in everything that we set out to do, and other unfathomed extras that are blessed as well, things that we have yet to uncover in science. We just found out about anions. And I think that's such a cool concept, and it's not just a concept. They found the particles, two-dimensional particles, an entire different dimension of actual physical material. And it would be really cool to be able to, I guess they got it from smashing particles, probably. One day we'll find a way to have fun with light and catch on to the Higgs boson beam and witness dark energy in its truest coherent form. And I believe that's easier to do than it sounds. I could be wrong. We'll find out in the future. Technetium and silver. And I guess that was for the mirrors. I don't know. But technetium. And I would say electrify the mirror to have electron reflection as well. A lepton screen, if you will. So that's coming back around to, I was talking about anions. So I got into this thing about transcendentalism. Man, it's all on here. I don't need to go back through it. Just know this. Life is far more awesome when you have the feeling in your heart. Trust your gut. If you as a scientist can trust your gut, you'll override the limitations that we set down in playpen science, what I call playpen science. So, like you're not allowed out of the playpen until you guys learn to think peacefully, lovingly, peacefully, given. As long as we can, if you look at everybody as part of your family, that's easy to do. If you look at us all as a global family, and we look we're an eclectic family. And then to go one step further, when we find others off-world, you'll find out we're a universal family. Because it sounded like the major triumph came when we sunk our quantum signature into a black hole, created in a lab, and then sent DNA along with, I guess, every element that we really want a lot of to make life into a black hole and somehow seeded the stars. All right, so that's kind of funny. I got a lot of stuff to reveal. Y'all are gonna laugh, but hopefully, really, actually, in the end, yeah, laugh, because all is well that ends well, right? Given how I know, yeah, if you knew where that I'd first heard that statement, where it really locked on to me to understand why it's really cool when it's true. All is well that ends well. In other words, if we don't end, okay, it's a whole other journey. Well, it made sense if we have time travel of information. I'd go for the gold and ask for infinite life. And if that was already like an outcome, like by faith and somehow utilizing a black hole's force and whatnot, and having enough people, well, the funny thing is, it still requires a unifying like quantum bridge between souls, essentially. So you need, like, what was the number? 144,000. Yeah, and what would that do? Having 144,000 universal anchor points. I have a lot of faith that the words are good. So I guess you gotta find an army of angels. A gross thou. And it's easy to believe that that's actually cool, man. I have a whole fun theory about laughter when you have an innocent heart, when you have a real clean conscience. Sometimes it's just the science that comes through. The science that comes through and make you laugh. It'll actually bring joy to your heart. And I'm talking really good things. because of transcendentalism. And then I'm getting on the whole knock on wood thing, because that was kind of the same sort of transcendental tie-in. Like somebody, man, I'm getting off track. Let me just bring that, I just want to bring this around. Time travel's real. I believe in it. And we have video footage on Temple Mount, and we have, I mean, besides black holes, Rendlesham Forest incident, we have some coordinates to look at, and I think it would really be encouraging to look at it world peacefully. Meaning, not just, I mean, it would be really cool if this is actually done. Because I realize if we read it as an English person, of course, as we found it in England, when the guy touched the thing, and, Project Humanity, Continuous Exploration Humanity, pardon me. It's pretty cool to remember the way that was recorded one time differently than I saw it the second time. So I definitely had a causality change. Example of laugh that I'm talking about. So there's other times that there's a lot of stuff I just want to talk about for hours and hours and hours. And I'm telling you, it just goes on like this through my channel. The further back you go, the more afraid I am. So you'll see how I just seem just different. This is a crystallization of human spirit manifesting in me right here. And then there's always the voice that can cut in, but I'm doing what I can to just keep it human professional. Well, it sounds like an auto-tune, like sometimes it'll break into song while I'm talking, which is incredible, and it's gotten more and more and more like that when it kicks on. So please understand why I believe in time travel, and believe that I understand that a quantum system, even using part of what I've been saying on here, will be a drastic improvement. Probably any part, because you guys are telling me. It's a long story, but pretty much quantum entanglement, automaton stuff from that, which is a computer formatted future tense, and this one's spirit's in there so that she can convey perfectly without pause the message that is on the screen, directly getting to her spirit in this format, actually referring to myself in third party just for the sake of understanding this is real. Cheers.